Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't even know how to start this video because there's so many things I want to say at the beginning of this video, and I will start by saying this. Patience is a virtue. Wait, and the truth will show up eventually. Unfortunately, sometimes the truth shows up too late, and the goose is already dead. So in this case, we have it coming straight to the horse's mouth, which is something that I've been saying it, and other, not too many, said it, and that is the Russians did not, do not, and it seems like will not have a shortage of ammunition. They had it, have it, and will have it, which is the ammunition. And this comes from a Ukrainian military guy, and unfortunately, we needed a year of BS. Every week we had the British intelligence and the Ukrainian weasels coming and telling us the Russians are already done, almost done, have no more weapons, they don't have any more ammunition. The rocket stockpile is low, the missiles no more, and that's it. They use, the First World War ammunition or something, all kind of crazy stuff. But little by little, they have to come forward and tell you, well, you know what, that was BS. So what are those guys gonna do? The ones that told us over and over and over again that the Russians have a shortage of ammunition. What's going on with those guys? Are they going to quit their jobs? Are those experts going to be fired? Are those, analysts going to be telling us, you know what, I took it too much in my, no, I got to go? Will they say that? Of course not, because that is their job, to inform us. Okay, how about misinformation? How about disinformation? How about lack of knowledge? Experts, analysts. That's another reason why I'm doing this, because I'm sick of seeing these idiots, these weasels, being on the big screen, telling us this and that. I'm like, this guy is either lying or he's an ignorant, or I don't know what to tell you, or both. So let's read this little article here. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda, and it is from today, April 5, 2023. Russia has no ammunition shortage and never had it. Ukraine's armed forces. So Russia has not experienced an ammunition shortage in the east of Ukraine, despite the Wagnerites' public statements about the lack of ammunition at the contact line. Serhiy Cherevati, speaker for the Eastern Group of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, on air during the National Joint 24/7 newscast. Cherevati answered the question of whether Russia is no longer experiencing an ammunition shortage. And I'm quoting Cherevati. Yes, unfortunately, we have repeatedly said there was no shell hunger where Russia focused its efforts. For example, in our case, these are the Bakhmut, Kupiansk, and Liman fronts. Unfortunately, Russia still has significant capacities to attack our positions, end quote. He added that Liman front is, and I'm quoting, leading in terms of damage inflicted by Russian artillery. Cherevati said that during the day there were 245 artillery attacks on Bakhmut and 21 combat engagements. 88 Russians have been killed and 124 have been injured. In addition, 3 Russian UAVs, 1 electronic warfare station, and 3 field caches have been destroyed. In February and March, Evgeny Prigozhin, the head of Wagner private military company, accused the Russian military leadership that the Wagnerites were not given ammunition available in the stocks. Well, this is what they say, but I'm not focused on Mr. Evgeny Prigozhin. I'm focused on the weasels who told us over and over again that the Russians are done. And that happened actually in April, when I made the first video regarding the Russians are almost done their stockpile. There was only one only one person who said that the Russians will not run out of their missiles and ammunition. They have a big stockpile and they will not run out. And that was one person from Germany. He was some general in the military, obviously in the German armed forces. I think his name was something with a Z, Zen, something like this. I made an article on that. And he was the only one who was contradicting the British weasels, the American weasels, the Ukrainian weasels, and everybody else, telling us that they will run out of shit. Now, Prigozhin said that. I don't know exactly why he said that. That's a fact. He said it. I don't know what tactical gains he had after he said that. Nevertheless, this guy comes and tells us just about Prigozhin. He doesn't tell us about the Western weasels' assessments or lack of, based on their intelligence. Remember, when you hear British intelligence or when you hear US intelligence, it's like go negative. Don't say I don't trust anything. Like go negative below that. Like, oh, I don't know, convince me. No. You can't convince me. You are so deep in doo-doo that before you get to the surface, you need, I don't even know how these guys can redeem themselves. But they will not, because as you know, the intelligence services, they have a certain department which is actually concerned with disinformation. That's his job. So sometimes they come and tell you that. And what? Do you want the Ukrainian armed forces and the civilians to know that the Russians will never run out of ammunition? They will say, okay, then take my weapon and I'm done. So, you have to create symbols, you have to create hope. And they did. Now this guy comes and says that they did not run out of ammunition then. I don't think he refers to missiles, anything like that, but coming at least partly, as I said many times, when they make an article and they come with a piece of news, and they obviously don't tell you everything, they tell you certain things that are not there, they hide certain things that are there but are not beneficial to be expressed in that article. And then you find out more and more from maybe sometimes unrelated articles. You find out about a certain subject here, you put it back on the puzzle, then another article here, you got another information, you put it here, and you have a better understanding. Now, this guy did not mean to tell us that the British intelligence is doing what it does, or the US intelligence is doing that. His intention was to, shame Prigozhin. That was his goal. The problem is we're not that infantile as he thinks, and we agree with him. And remember, the stockpile is still there. Do you think the Russians did not prepare? I mean, really, especially when they knew, they figured out that the US and these guys at one point will want to strangle them, because that's the way it is. When you're the strongest in the parking lot, you don't want anybody else to go and hit and we don't want that to learn that thing. So what are you going to do? You're going to bully that guy over and over again. So you got a psychological, at least, advantage over the guy and beat him every day before he gets strong and, mental strength. You destroy it. And you're going to have an impasse before you start fighting that person, because, he beat you all your life. So you're going to be afraid. That's something that is there. So, no shortage, never had a shortage, and I don't know if they're going to have it. I said at the beginning that they will not, but hey, I don't have a crystal ball here. But I don't think they will run out of ammunition before these guys run out of ammunition. And yes, the Russians are for the long haul in this one. And they will try to outspend those guys in the West who are in an economic crisis, banking bullshit, and elections. So that's going to eat them, and then they will say, you know what, not Ukraine, they don't, you know what, the Russians, how about we talk about it? That's what's going to happen. Unless Putin and about 300 other people in the Russian government and high positions will be somehow sent to Jesus, if you know what I mean, on short notice. But then you have to take the 80% of the population who supports these crazies. What are you going to do with them? Well, you do what other people did. Strong fist, Take care of them. You bring people who will bring a better world. Like they brought to Romania, they brought to other countries like Iraq and all that. Freedom, democracy, and all that little bullshit. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.